It's that time, rookie running back re-ranking post-combine time. And let me tell you right now, things are going to get jostled around like they always do when we start getting a feel of not only what the landing spots could look like because of the workouts, because of what the buzz says, because of what the consensus feels like, and that does manipulate potential landing spots. There's a lot to go over. There's preemptive breakdowns, right? You do it all before the combine, before the workouts. Basically, a eyeball test, a talent evaluation process. That's what I do, and I love doing that. It's one of my favorite parts about this because you really get a sense of what the talent looks like only. You're not influenced by anything else. But once the noise starts to take effect and a hold of some of your opinions, and rightfully so, because where players go matter. That matters. You start to get a little bit of a different sense in ranking. And this ranking is going to look a lot different than the running back rankings we had even a month ago. We're breaking it all down right now. Post NFL Combine running back rookie ranking show, graveyard show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's start off with Jeremiah Love and just say that this guy was so electric in this combine, this 4.36 40-yard dash, second out of the running backs. Mike Washington Jr., M. Wash, drop the wash emoji right now in the live chat. Put that wash emoji, at least let it rain. Wash emojis. Here's the wash emoji if you don't know what it looks like, this green soap. Let the wash emoji fall upon the live chat like a rainstorm that we haven't seen in 2 decades. So let it just flow for at least 30 seconds, maybe a minute if you're feeling frisky. But this guy, Jeremiah Love, will start off with 4.36 at his size, at his coordination level, at his ability to jump cut. And this guy, at the end, I don't know, somebody usually does a backflip at the end of the combine. They all celebrate, they start clapping, everybody claps, and somebody does a flip. It was Jeremiah Love doing this like acrobatic, like double, triple, and then like this it looked like he did 3 flips in a row. This guy is so athletic. He's so athletic. He's the next Bijan. And you could say, Smitty, you can't say that. You can't say next Bijan. What's with some of you with the yellow scrub brushes, bro? Those are like Dollar Tree scrub brushes. You got to go with the green sucker. Is that a droid phone you got there, Jack of all trades? What are we doing with the yellow? Looks like a rough yellow scrub brush. Like look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this compared. Looks like corn on the cob, bro. Looks like corn. This is what you should be dropping. This is the one. Nice, clean scrub brush. M wash, baby. We're not eating corn on the cob. Is that Jotes? Is that a droid? I'm just wondering, or if you just picked the wrong one. I'm not sure. It's the wrong emoji, my boy. Everybody, corn on the cob. Yes, aka M wash, aka corn on the cob. I'm just curious. You haven't answered the question. Is it a droid thing? Then I understand why I did it. Or did you pick the wrong emoji? That's all I'm asking. I'm specifically asking that question for a reason, so I can guide other people that might not be able to find the M-Wash emoji. So let us know, so we know what to do. Is that Android? Let us know you have an Android without letting us know you have an Android. What are we doing? What are we doing? Jotes, do you have the proper emoji? I'm just asking for a friend. Jeremiah Love is the next Bijan Robinson. And if you say to me something ridiculous like, Smitty, you can't call him the next. Smitty, you can't call the next Bijan Robinson. I certainly can. Because we invented Bijan Robinson.
Let him cook.
Get Bijan.
We certainly can. We can do whatever the hell we want. This guy has the intangibles that Bijan came to the table with. And when we said Bijan was going to be a number 1 running back in the league before he even took an NFL snap, and he finished number 9, I took the L. Because if I'm going to claim to be the highest on Bijan, I got to take the L when he delivers a running back 9 value as a rookie. Now, that was Arthur Smith, but it doesn't matter. I took the L. But we were higher on Bijan than anyone. And we are probably higher on Jeremiah Love than anyone. Why? Because 48 hours before the combine, I had an emergency live stream. We gathered around the fireplace, this one or this one, whichever fireplace you prefer. And we said, let's tell campfire stories, scary stories. Scary story about little Billy. You know, bring it in real quickly, a little story about Billy. Little Billy, when he was a young man, his father didn't draft Jeremiah Love when he was on the clock, and instead drafted a running back that was an old head, that didn't have the capability of delivering. He had the mileage. They went ahead and went in the direction of avoiding the rookie because guess what, Smitty? If Genty struggled, you said the same thing about Genty. I'm going to use Genty's situation, completely different than Love's, uncorrelated to Love. There's nothing to do with Love. And I'm going to blame Love for Genty. I'm going to blame everything on Jeremiah Love. And that father ended up losing his fantasy league. And little Billy didn't get Christmas presents that year because his dad didn't win his fantasy league. And it was a sad, sad tale. But the truth of the matter is, someone with cojones, somebody that doesn't tie things to previous years, will look at this thing compartmentalized and say, this is the next Bijan Robinson. This is the guy that holds closely all those characteristics, has every ability to be the number 3, number 2 running back. I did an emergency live stream about 48 hours before the NFL Combine, and I said, go get your 1.1s in existing dynasty leagues now. It might not have been easy. You might not have been able to pull it off in every league. I'm not saying you're a miracle worker, but I said 48 hours you have. Less than 48 hours, just a touch under, to go get the 1.1 in every dynasty league you can. Because the moment Jeremiah Love steps off the field, and exactly what I said, instead of stepping off the field, he did a backflip off the field. The moment he backflips off the field and the combine closes and concludes, the 1.1's untouchable. The owner with the 1.1 is so tickled pink after that combine performance by the next Bijan Robinson, Jeremiah Love. The 1.1's untouchable. So congratulations, sleeping at the wheel, didn't even attempt. I bet you didn't even try Stevie Boy 5647 on YouTube. I bet you didn't even try to go get the 1.1. You just dilly-dallied, twiddled your thumbs, thought you'd handle it maybe on Monday. Guess what? Monday's going to come a-calling, and there's no trade for the 1.1. That stock split. It already split. It's over. Gonzo. Dunzo. Jeremiah Love, I did a video 48 hours before the combine and said he's my number 3 running back in Dynasty. He's my number 3 running back in redraft. And I'm not suggesting you don't take advantage of the mundanes in your league, the normal humans in your league that don't have the cojones you have, that don't have the conviction you have, don't have the ability to compartmentalize one year from the next. I'm not saying you don't take advantage of that. In fact, I'm saying if you do not take advantage of that, you're taking a lap.
Take a big lap. We don't need you.
If you don't take advantage of the ability to get Love at running back 6 in a redraft league or running back 8, then you don't know what you're doing. And I'm here to help you and guide you. But taking Love where I have him ranked is like buying a $500,000 house for $700,000, even though it appraises for $500,000, and you're like, it's okay. It'll be worth $1 million someday, right? Yeah, it might be. But guess what? You could have had a $500,000 profit instead of buying the thing for $700,000 and only profiting $300,000. So it's all a numbers game. And Jeremiah Love, his risk is baked in at running back 7 in redraft, 8, 9, 10. I've seen some people say they wouldn't take him in round 2. I don't take rookie running backs. Didn't you see what happened last year with all these running backs? Ash and Genty, Smitty, didn't you see the other show that talked about this, Smitty? Really, you shouldn't, Steve. Go after any rookie running backs. We see Genty really struggled, and Harvey struggled, and Handy struggled. And I think that the NFL is just going to not use rookies anymore, tying everything to the past. As Tony Soprano said, remember when is one of the most boring forms of conversation. So while the doubting Donnie's in the live chat right now, I'm sure there's one or two, I don't really care. Do what you want. In fact, we need you. In fact, we need you more than you need us. We need you to keep the value at bay. So doubt away, young little Donnie. Doubt away, Donnie. Tell your Aunt Edna, your Uncle Buck, your Uncle Bud, tell them all how risky it is to draft a Jeremiah Love in the second round. So the fact that we have some people trying to pollute the vibe on the second round Jeremiah Love, there's no need to take him at number 7 overall. Do you understand what I'm saying? Number 1 running back without question is Jeremiah Love. Nothing changed. The only thing that changed is he's more solidified. People that weren't as impressed are now impressed, and he costs a little more. This guy, Mike Washington, we've talked about on this channel for weeks now. Travis continues to bring him up all the time. We talk about him in passing almost every single time we're mentioning the top 5 or 6 running backs. He's been a focal point of the group that could climb into the Price, Emmett Johnson, Jonah Coleman group. This is the guy. You can even see right here. Here's a old previous name when we didn't even have a graphic for him, and we threw that on that screen right there in the corner. Wash destroyed the combine. Just destroyed it.
I smell meatloaf.
As I tell you, you don't come away from a combine experience and say, oh, I didn't really like him, now I do. He had a good 40 time, Xavier Worthy. Wasn't going to draft him high. A great 40 time, goes to KC. Now we love him. That is a trap. It's almost always 99.999% a trap. This is a guy we loved before the combine. This is a guy that had that wild card. But what we said before the combine is he's got to go destroy the combine. Why? Because he's a little bit off the radar for all the NFL teams. Just a little bit. He'll get drafted, but he might get drafted into a cloudy situation. The further you fall in the NFL draft, you want to go higher as a running back. The further you fall, the more likely a team that doesn't even need a running back to be like, grab him. He's the best guy on the board. And then he gets lost in the shuffle. That's what Washington was at risk of doing. And so that's why you can't just come out and rank a guy on the fringe. And he was very much one of our fringe running backs. Number 2, until you get the go-ahead that these teams see him. They notice him. So what we said is going into the combine, he goes out and makes a splash. Guess what? He climbs up the board like a monster. And boy, did he destroy the combine.
I smell meatloaf.
Look at this. I mean, not to mention the vert and all the other aspects of his combine performance, but Mike Washington Jr., 4.33 40-yard dash. His Madden speed score is already 95. His projected Madden score, at least. And the guy just looks the part. Now, the beautiful part about his film is that you watch it and you can see it right away why we liked him, why everyone else is wondering if he's the guy, while teams were kind of on the fence, but definitely on the lurch. You know, like, what's this guy going to do in the workouts? He goes out and destroys this combine, gets his name out there, could very well be the number 2 ranked running back for a majority of the teams coming out of the combine. Now, there's still going to be a lot of people that love Price, and I think Price is very deserving, and you'll see where we rank him in a second, but this is by far and away the number 2 running back. Post combine on my rankings should be on your rankings. And we already did a whole video on Love and Washington. Go watch it if you need more content on this, specifically catered to these two players. I have a video that's one or two videos back. But we made Washington a moon man.
The moon men dropping loads in outer space. To the moon.
Moon man extraordinaire. League winner extraordinaire. Underdog promo code Smitty steal of a pick. Play underdog, links in the description. Use promo code Smitty. And never got the email and invite them for the Wild Wild West. I sent it to you, world. Hold on one second. We'll take care of that in a second. So promo code Smitty, links in the description of the video, which inserts code Smitty for you. Go draft this guy M Wash, because even though he's climbing mountains of ADP, he's still so far down. Like, this is the time to draft him in a best ball draft where he's going to walk in and become a starter. Or even if he didn't at first, he'll take over. He's a value. He's like a double-digit round territory player still. He's climbing. He's going to quickly climb. But that's World, I sent you the email. Email me right now. Or actually, no, I have your email. Did you put the wrong email in the form? Check your bulk mail. I sent it to you. Let me see here. Yeah, bro. I sent it to you. It's the one that starts with, it ends with the, yeah, just make sure what you sent me. Here, I'm going to send you a message right now. I'm going to forward this to you again. Let's see here. I forwarded it to you again. Just make sure you sent me the right email. Check your bulk mail. I just sent it to you again. Forwarded what I forwarded you. I emailed you at midnight, like I told you. I promised. I do what I say, my boy. Appreciate you. Go check it now. Check your bulk mail. Worldwide, appreciate you, my boy. Never put a frown face like I'm not going to deliver for you, Wes. You know me, bro. Not going to leave you hanging. All right. Washington, guys, Washington to the mother freaking moon. He's gonna be so good. I love this kid. His skill set's elite. Just go watch some film. YouTube Mike Washington Jr. highlights and watch him for just 5 minutes, and you're gonna come back to the live chat, or do it later. Don't not watch the show right now. Just stay here, but watch it later. Put a comment in this video after. So go watch it tonight. In the comment of the video. Okay, you got it. Good. I got your email back right now. But I forwarded that to you, bro. Did you not see the original email in your bulk? Man, I'm so excited about this kid. I'm so excited about it. Number 3 is where it gets tough, though. We got Katron Allen. We got Emmett Johnson. We got Jonah Coleman. We got Singleton's not really in the mix right now. We got Price. We also have let's see, McGowan kind of climbed into the conversation, not yet at 3, but he's in the conversation for sure. This is where I'm kind of starting to feel like Claiborne's a real interesting prospect. The only knock on him is he's 188 pounds, but look, Achan, Travis even said Vidal was a good example. Achan, this is not the first time we've seen a running back at about 190, 5'10", become an elite. Bucky Irving was like 196 or something like that, 194, something like that. Or he might have been 188 going into the combine, I forget. But that's a concern, sure. But you know what my gut tells me? That Miami Mike McDaniel is going to draft Claiborne to try and replicate some of what he has going on with Achan. And I know that we're not going to necessarily want that with Hampton, but that's what my gut instinct. And then we'll have to address Hampton and Claiborne and what do they vulture and cannibalize their value. Hard to say, but at the end of the day, I still think no matter what, Claiborne's got a nice opportunity. I'm not necessarily putting him 3. I'm just saying the consideration is here. The guy I still feel like the league, the other teams in the National Football League view as the clear-cut 2 or 3 is going to be Jadarian Price. And so let me find Price. I don't know where I put Price. Oh, there it is. Price is probably still my 3 because the landing spot's probably going to be pretty damn good. And Jadarian Price, I have a profile for him we can pull up. And actually, just real quickly, Jeremiah Love, we talked about Jeremiah Love. Freaking unbelievable profile. The 1372, the 18 touchdowns on the ground, the 21 total touchdowns, 27 receptions, 280, elite hands, top 5 running back opportunity, 6 foot, 214. Just a straight up savage. But you look at Jadarian Price, who, if anybody doesn't know, played on the same team. They were teammates, and they're very arguably the top 2 running backs across the board for some teams. And I think, we have M. Wash maybe stealing some of that timeshare of being ranked the second running back. But this guy who played behind Jeremiah Love, our number 1 running back, everyone's number 1 running back, didn't have a lot of opportunities, but what he did with those opportunities was unbelievable. And the same thing happened, if you remember, back with Damian Harris and Josh Jacobs in college. They played the 1-2 punch. They come out, Judkins and Hendy also. But Jacobs was also very low volume. Hard to know if he could handle a full workload, and he did. And he did it for years. And he's still doing it, but I think, how I feel about Jacobs this year. I think it's going to... But Price is in the same boat. You can't judge him because he didn't have a shot. You can say his resume is improving, so there's a little bit of a holdup. Can he weather through an NFL season when he hasn't really done it? That will be the concern. Because if you aren't proven at the running back position to weather through and hold up through a beating of a season, especially when they haven't done a college season, let alone a 17-game season, there is injury risk. So he will come with a tremendous amount of injury risk. But 5'11", 209, 11 touchdowns on the ground on 113 totes is crazy. 6 yards per carry, 674. Only 6 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Returner. He's a massive return specialist. A team could draft him and use him a lot as a kick returner as a rookie and ease him into the running back role. So there's things to worry about. Where does he land? Does the coach that takes him say he's our starting running back? Then he goes to the moon. Does the coach that takes him have a running back situation that's cloudy and they want him as a special team artist and just an all-around athlete? Then there's some cloudiness concerns, right? So for the most part, I'll say this. I'll say that Price by default is my number 3 running back. I think he's got the potential skill set wise now, resume wise, provability. He's got to prove that he can handle the workload, and that's a concern. He still deserves this 3 spot. I think Claiborne truly does kind of need to be considered in this 4 spot. I'll put Claiborne there. Despite the small size, he's fast. He goes out and runs this 4.37 40. So it's just a neck and neck 40 time race between Claiborne, Wake Forest running back, Jeremiah Love, and Mike Washington Jr. They're just neck and neck and neck in terms of the speed. And Claiborne is just a very attractive running back in today's NFL, where you can be electric and elite at a smaller size. It's a concern, but Price is as big of a concern, and the workload's not there, right? How can you expect someone who hasn't even been an elite full-time running back? I'm not saying I doubt him. I'm just saying if you're going to knock this guy or this ranking, you have to also say there's an equal but different, but very equal in weight, risk in Price, because he's never done it in college. Not his fault, but he's never carried the rock, to the degree that you need to carry it in order to prove yourself. So 17 games is a lot to ask at a Price without knowing, so there's risk. I like it. It's a fun risk to take, but so is this one. He's smaller, but he's elusive. He's quick. I just see like a Miami Mike type of coach. Hopefully it's not Mike, because I don't want him to dilute the value of Hampton, to be honest. But a Miami Mike mentality type coach grabs this kid and says, let's get him into a Bucky role. Let's get him into an H.N. role. Let's do a lot of great things with him. I'm excited about his potential. I think, Emmett Johnson and Jonah Coleman are still kind of tied in my mind. I do believe that their combines didn't set them apart, unfortunately. And so, Emmett Johnson and Coleman are kind of a tie at the 6th spot because the talent is still tremendously there. I think you've got, a McGowan and a Katron Allen and Other running backs. Let me hit my running back board on thefantasyfootballshow.com. By the way, guys, things have been so enhanced on thefantasyfootballshow.com. So Emmett Johnson, Jonah Coleman, Claiborne, Katron Allen. Randall maybe. I mean, guys, throw out your favorite running back here, but this is kind of where it starts getting really cloudy. Nick Singleton's not really. He's on this board, but he's not really there anymore. Is it Randall? Is it potentially it really drops off. I almost just say I'm not even gonna go there, because putting it this way, and this is the blunt truth of it, there's not enough running back landing spots for really all of these guys to be relevant. So the truth of the matter is, these other guys, while they could fall into the right situation, Singleton, whoever, Randall, Hemby, any of these guys could fall into the perfect situation, injury strike, and they rise up, but even like a Monangai who did something like that, we called. He was on our midseason monster board, and we predicted Monangai to be a monster. So this is going to be... So it's kind of like, let me get rid of, if I had to order these guys, let me put this back up and just do it this way. So we'll go Emmett Johnson here, Jonah Coleman here, Katron Allen and McGowan. Let's go McGowan Allen, or Allen McGowan. And then, like, I don't even know that I can put Singleton on this list. So it would be something along the lines of this. This would be the top 8. There's no way these 8 running backs are going to fall into starting spots. There's just, like, 3 of them might. One might go to like Minnesota, and then obviously Love's going to start wherever he goes. Washington could be the Minnesota guy. Then maybe Price goes somewhere, and then it's kind of like, who knows what happens here? But this is like the meat and potatoes of the rookie rankings. So this is probably where it is. All right, phone lines are open. Dial.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what else I would. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like this Emmett Johnson, Coleman, and McGowan and Allen are just a grab bag. Like, I feel more comfortable, because I don't want anybody to necessarily draft that order yet. I truly believe it's completely situation dependent. Talent-wise, it would be Emmett Johnson, but does the NFL see it? McGowan has the most momentum of these 4. Katron Allen is really, really good, but how are the teams going to view him? How many teams will view him as that guy? So this is kind of the better way to describe this ranking is Love, Washington, Price, Claiborne, Emmett Johnson, or you could do this. Actually, you could even do Emmett Johnson, Claiborne, but I like this. This feels right to me. This is a little bold with Claiborne here at his size of 188, but this is how I feel about it. This is the meat and potatoes of the ranking. And let me go over to Rumble real quick and see what my Rumblers are saying. Rumble, appreciate you. I've got Mikey over there. I got Aldi. I've got Bare Bones, FDX. I don't know where New Age is at, but New Age, if you're out there, you're the man, bro. I also got a little birdie told me we might have a hero here very soon that might potentially drop an early. If anybody drops a $500 tip on Rumble through their tip jar crypto wallet, and you can use your own wallet. You don't have to you just click on the tip money sign on the Rumble. Rumble does a lot of awesome stuff. One, they do Rumble rants, which are like super chats, but they also have what's called a Rumble tip jar, which is done through either a crypto wallet, through the Rumble wallet, or through your own wallet. Anybody that drops 500, the whole show is going to be dedicated to you for the whole month too. Well, we kick off the Rumble show that's going to be ignited at 10,000 followers. We're at 5,000 followers. By the way, we crossed over 5,000 followers today on Rumble. We're almost at 5.1 or whatever, and we might have even hit that. But 5,000 followers. So we doubled that, and we did that in about a month. We doubled that. The new Rumble show starts immediately. And we're going to do 1 day a week for now. And it's going to be probably around noon. Right around noon or 1 p.m. Eastern might be the show. So it'll be a daytime show. It'll be coined the Rumble show. And that kicks off. And anybody drops that $500 Rumble tip early, the Rumble show starts immediately. So that Monday or really the next day. But it's going to probably be, right now we're going to do 1 or 2 days. It'll be some surprises too. Like I might go on Rumble, 1 p.m. Eastern every Monday. And then we'll try and do Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, whatever we can. But then eventually, as the Rumble show grows, it will demand that we do it Monday through Friday. So the goal is to have Rumble Monday through Friday. And the YouTube channel will multi-stream to YouTube just so the YouTubers can cling along, just like the Rumblers are clinging along to this YouTube live stream right now. This is a YouTube-geared live stream. But, Rumble is just a YouTube alternative. But yeah, someone drops that, we're gonna start the show early. So appreciate all my Rumblers, appreciate all of you. Wes, thank you. Wes, Wes? I didn't see what you said, but you did see my original first email, right? Wes dropped 200, and anybody that drops 200 is in the Wild Wild West draft. That's what Wes did. That's what Husseini did. That's what anybody drops a $200 tip on the Rumble tip jar using the crypto Bitcoin droppage, you get into the Wild Wild West draft right away. The winner of that's going to get a pair of Gunner as well as some other prizes. So get ready for that. Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I don't think I had the phone line open when I hit the button last time. I apologize. I think Rockout called. Travis called. Or no, maybe that was yesterday. I don't know. Phone line's open now. I can't tell who called. My missed calls is weird. You're live. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Mike from San Diego.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, real quick, got a quick trade offer I want you to review. It's I'm trying to get Jeremiah Love for Bucky Irving and Reshie Rice.
Okay, hold on one second. Bucky Irving. I said the merge Travis in. Okay, so you're trying to get Love, but you'd have to give up Bucky and Rice?
And Reshie Rice. Yeah, Dynasty half PPR, but this team is coming off a championship, so Bucky wasn't doing well and Rice wasn't even available. So
I mean, that's a lot to give up, bro. I like it.
It is.
Are you so
wash my hands clean of Reshie?
Are you so loaded though that this is like surplus you can easily give up?
My running back room is Bijan and Henry, so I kind of feel confident.
Okay, and what are your receivers?
CeeDee Lamb, Reshie Rice is 2, and then I have Devonta Smith. After that, Xavier Worthy and a bunch of dart throws like Adonai.
It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like a team that has the ability to just throw in extra massive pieces. So I don't know. This is tough. Bucky's gonna have a huge year, bro. Zach Robinson's the new offensive coordinator, and Rice is a risk to get rid of with your thinking, and he's also a risk to keep. Like he's in equal parts, could screw you either way you turn, because if he doesn't end up getting suspended again, which is very, in the cards right now, if anybody doesn't know, he's back in trouble. If Rice gets suspended, then you're going to wish you probably did this trade. If Rice doesn't get suspended and becomes a top 10 wide receiver for the next 5 to 7 years, you're going to regret making the move because Rice is already very close to Love in terms of fantasy football value at that point. And then if Bucky ends up not working out, then you took a little bit of a bath on the no deal. But if Bucky ends up delivering even top 12 running back numbers, then you make out. So it's just a big risk. I mean, it's a lot to give up for Love. I will say I like Love the most out of all the players in the deal. And it's significant. It's just the question is, does Rice or Bucky, whichever way you look at it, close the gap? I'd say on paper it does, but I can't sit here and say I don't like Love a lot more. It's a tough call. Chat, vote on this one.
I'm more confident in Bucky than I am Rice, and it's dynasty. So my thoughts are, what's Kansas City going to do with Rice's contract situation after this year? And I'm just thinking, get an elite asset with Love and just forget about it. So, but it is tough.
I mean, can't you get more? Can't you make this something that just makes this a little bit easier to accept?
Well, the problem with getting more right now is Rice's situation is hazy. I could potentially wait and see what happens, but that's the game. That's the risk.
Bro, you can get something. You can get something. This guy wants to do this deal. You could get something in here. I mean, even if it was a second rounder, you could figure out how to get a player you shouldn't get. You just make sure you land the hell out of this pick, and all of a sudden you're great. But Bucky's gonna have a great year. Zach Robinson's the offensive coordinator. He just turned Bijan into a monster. Now he's talking about Bucky like he's his new Bijan. Whether you agree to that comparison or not, I'm not asking you to agree to it. I'm just saying Zach Robinson's excited. So, but I do like Love more. Get a second, get something that you could at least argue. You could say like,
I'm not rushing into it. It's early.
Like, what about like a Mike Evans or somebody that's old that you could just get rent? Rent a player free.
Well, he doesn't have guys like that. He's a team that's coming off of a bad season.
Name his players. Name his players. Let me figure out if I like one of these guys you throw in here, and then you ask for that, and it's not a big deal. Like, they're so bad you don't even want to list them. So he's going to give it up. He's going to give one of these players up. If you're like, I'm not even.
I mean, I guess I could get. I mean, I guess maybe DJ Moore.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
I guess.
Perfect. Yeah. Do that. Done deal.
Okay.
Home run.
Okay.
The home run trade now, bro.
Gotcha.
This is a home run trade. DJ Moore might go somewhere great. I'm not saying he's long term, but DJ Moore might be traded and end up playing really good football for 1 to 2 years. He might not, but this is a great bet. This makes me do this trade in a heartbeat.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put that on. We'll see what happens.
All right. Gotta go. Later, bro.
Thank you, man. Yep.
And that was the Travis, I just hung up on you. Sorry, Travis, call back in. That was the easiest flip. That's why you delve into these questions a little bit. He's trying to tell me there wasn't anybody he can add. I mean, that was that was light work, Travis. That was light work. That's why you gotta give up that information, man. That makes a whole hell of a difference. But I will say
I was going to ask him if he had an undervalued receiver, and DJ Moore is perfect.
And just if you're still listening, bro, who was that again? That was Mike.
I missed it when he called in. I was dialing.
Gosh dang it! I'm still so like on zero sleep. San Diego. Is it Mike from San Diego? I feel like
I think so.
I feel like that's an easy home run. It's an easy home run. But I was going to tell him, Mike from San Diego, make sure you don't just go straight for DJ Moore, bro. If you go, okay, I'll do the deal if you throw in DJ Moore, he's going to say no. Don't give him that fuel. You say throw in something. And then he says, like what? Go, I don't know. You're like, it's not even like I'm asking for like a big piece, bro. You're rebuilding. Your team doesn't have, no offense, your team doesn't have a lot of like assets. And he's like, could name your receivers, and he'll name them, and you go, I don't know. I'll do it if you throw in DJ Moore. Like, that's how you got to approach it. Don't just go, give me DJ, call him up. Give me DJ Moore, it's done. He's not going to do it. Like, make him tell you DJ. Make him say DJ Moore's name to you. Like, say, who do you have? Make him say DJ Moore. If he's the one that tells you it, he's subconsciously trying to sell you on it. Okay, Travis, what do you think of these rookie running backs, bro? I mean, Love, Washington, Price. We've kind of talked about this before, so I already. So I know where you're kind of feeling, and I think this is probably your top three. I believe we might be a little bit similar, but close to. We're probably a little bit different potentially on this order right here: 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But what are you thinking here with the top three, and then what do you think about 4?
Yeah, top three I have the same. And then kind of at first when we were talking before, I was saying my tier 2 had 4 guys in it, but I think I would probably say like Washington and Price are like the second tier if you're going to talk about it that way. After that, I still have Emmett Johnson and Coleman above Claiborne. And then I'd have Claiborne and Katron Allen just because I think Claiborne and Allen more than the other guys really depend on what they land because they need to be used the right way. And just on Coleman, like we were talking about, like He had a meeting with the Broncos and a couple other teams. I think the Broncos are going to bring in a bigger back, and hopefully the Ingram Kamara thing works out for Harvey's sake.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, bro. Guys, just in case you didn't know, I've revamped the fantasyfootballshow.com, and the rankings, every player has a player page. All the player pages have enhanced metrics and data, and you can then go to a full screen view of that metrics and data and sort by category away from the player page if you want. The only other thing I'm probably going to add would be schedule. And that will be the next addition to the player page. But the player page, let me just pull up a player profile and just show you guys a screenshot. Let's go with Jeremiah Love while we're on that topic. So Jeremiah Love's player profile page looks like this beauty right here. The enhanced metrics. Oh, no, let's not use Love because he won't have any metrics yet, because it goes off of previous years. So let's go with... damn it, who could I use here that I have a lot of information on? Go Jahmyr Gibbs, I think. Let's go Jahmyr Gibbs. So Jahmyr Gibbs, although he doesn't have a video posted yet, but that's all right. So essentially, this is what the player profile is going to look like. It's got tons of information on it. It's definitely going to be the place to go to get the information. So it's going to have the weekly projection. You can see on the left. PPR is scoring 30 points in week 1. 0.5 PPR is scoring 28 points in week 1. In standard, 26 is scheduled TBA. 100 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 4 receptions, 35 yards, 1 receiving touchdown. It's a little bit bolsterous, but it is the one that I wanted to, I was testing scoring on it, and then I left it because I'm like, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's overall redraft rankings above that. You can see he's running back. He's number 1 overall in my redraft rankings. He's He's $71 in auction dollars if you're to go into a $200 redraft auction. He's number 1 running back in Dynasty, number 1 overall in Dynasty. He's $72 in a $200 auction. His birthday will be right here, as you'll see on some profiles. I haven't entered it all yet. Detroit running back bye week will be there. It says 2 right now, but we don't have the bye weeks. The advanced metrics right here. This is the data that's so important, probably the most important. It's got stacked box data. The rushing... the yards after contact per rush attempt, he was 12th in the NFL. It's probably one of the most important stats right there. Receiving yards, all that. You click this more tab and you can go to all the data. You can see where the top 20 running backs were, the top 20 wide receivers. You can go by points, fantasy points. You can go by anything. All the articles will be down here. Season outlook will be right here, as well as a video will be placed right here. And any of the data you get in like a trade calculation where you do Jahmyr Gibbs versus this and it spits out this interesting data, it'll also be presented on their player page. Jahmyr Gibbs is one of somebody's top 5 favorite players to draft in this season. So these are some of the most enhanced, and schedule will be on here eventually, most enhanced player pages, period. And they're all linked on the rankings page with a player profile icon. And the redline rankings, so you can redline them. And then I have the trade calculator enhanced, the draft simulator, the lineup analyzer. In the lineup analyzer, we'll be using this data right here. So it'll tell you can put like 5 players against each other, see which one's going to score more. Any kind of lineup dilemma you have, throw 5 flexes into the calculator. It'll tell you, who to start. TheFantasyFootballShow.com. All right, Travis, let's continue. So Love, Washington, Price. You have Emmett Johnson over Claiborne. You have Coleman over Claiborne, but then you have Claiborne after that. Is that correct?
Yeah, Claiborne and then Catron, but I have Claiborne above Catron just because it's hard to know exactly what Catron's going to be, like whether he's going to be, elusive enough to be more than that kind of big plotting type of back or not. I know he did well in college, but NFL's a different game.
Yeah. We have this brilliant strategy, yes, sir. And then Raymond, was it Raymond? Says how to negotiate one-on-one. There'll definitely be videos on that. You should do trading classes, bro. We do. So they'll definitely be on my YouTube. I have like categories, like rows. They're called like show types. So I have a running back show. So whenever we do like a running back show, which is technically what this is, I should have done this at the intro.
You're watching the Running Back Show.
This is also a rookie show. So technically speaking, I probably could play this one as well.
You're watching the Rookie Show.
So on my YouTube homepage, because I like to be the most organized person with content and all that, I have shelves of these shows. So this is a running back show, rookie show. So you'll find these shows on those shelves. I'm going to have a trading shelf, and there'll be trading shows with, there'll be a series. And so you'll be able to find that on the homepage in good time. All right. So expect that. And so strategy is Inception style. It was all the other guy's idea to throw in DJ Moore. That's how you got to negotiate. So yes, it's a brilliant way to do it. You make them say the name too. And even taking it a step further, you can be like, DJ Moore. You'd be like, yeah. You'd be like, bro, isn't he? You mean the guy that screwed up the whole playoff catch? You just got to blame it on that. Like, then you start having him sell them. He's like, DJ Moore's still good. Let me tell you 10,000 reasons why. Travis, what else you got on these rookies? What do you think of McGowan?
Yeah, so I was just going to ask you about McGowan because, he missed 2021. He's played for 3 different schools. He's a decent sized guy, and I see some people are high on him. I don't know a ton about him. Do you have any? I just need to know more about him. I guess I haven't looked at him.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. Kentucky Wildcat running back, 6'1", 215. I forget if that's his exact measurables from the combine. That's what was listed before the combine. I forget what he weighed in at. I don't have it in front of me. I'm not too worried about looking it up. But I'll put his stats up on screen. He's a good running back. It's not like he's climbing my board past 5 though. Like could he, if let's say teams were super interested and they seem like they're starting to get interested, then yeah, I could see myself ranking him like 4 or 5 or something. But he's never going to rival the 2 spot or anything like that. But his ability to get in the end zone, pretty good. The reception data is pretty solid. 19, 126, 23, 277, 3 TDs receiving that 2024 season. As you said, he missed 2021, which is not showing. He's an interesting player for sure. And the size is not bad. And it really, like anything, and this sounds like we're a broken record here, but it doesn't really, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it almost doesn't. Like right now, what we say about them, I usually am somebody that says, put your balls on the table and stop like playing careful, Caleb, and saying, oh, you can't, I got to wait until landing spots. We very much don't need to do that. But in this case, with the fact that these guys are probably all going to semi-cloudy situations to boot, because I highly doubt one of these guys grabs one of the 4 open running back spots. You know what I'm saying? You got Love, Washington, Price, and then all the free agents, Walker and ETN and Breece Hall potentially, that are all there, Dowdle, Pacheco, that are all vying for 1 or 2 of those 4 premier landing spots. And there really are only a very select few of running back landing spots. I'll pull up the 4 best landing spots. And that is the Minnesota Vikings at number 4. That is the Washington Commanders, who aren't even fully vacated because of Bill. Maybe they like Bill. You got KC and you got New Orleans. There's just a very high likelihood that these guys we're talking about right here aren't relevant to these landing spots. So I believe there is room to say things like we got to wait for the landing spots because they're not falling into starting jobs. So they have to really climb their way into unique situations. And it will be something along the lines of, let's say Emmett Johnson goes to Pittsburgh and they bring back Gainwell and they have Warren. It's like, what, like, why would you like them? They got, or let's say Cleveland drafts Katron Allen. And it's like, what are you going to do with that? So there's no need to go into like details really and say, all I can tell you is, and I've done this already, is Emmett Johnson's my favorite of these guys right here on this side of the screen. Coleman's my second favorite. McGowan's starting to climb right next to Katron Allen, and especially because teams will be interested in him. And we're just beholden to the landing spot. We truly are. Maybe one of them gets lucky and does go to Minnesota because the other guys go, and Minnesota waits a long time, and then Emmett Johnson's there very late, and they're like, oh, go ahead and do it. And then we get really lucky, or Jonah Coleman goes to Minnesota or Washington. Then that's a nice spot. And then we'll know. Then we'll have a solidification of one of these guys breaches over here. But until we have the landing spot, we're just spinning our wheels, pretending that the talent's going to win out of a cloudy situation we don't know if it will.
Yeah, and I see someone saying sleeping on Coleman.
How am I sleeping on Coleman?
I don't think we're sleeping on him at all because we have him right in that tier, and we
I don't know what you're talking about.
Number 2 back, and I think there's, it's rightful. It's realistic to question because he has talent. He's a big back. He's a power back. He can catch the ball, but at the same time, he drops back. His last year at college, he was under 5 yards a carry, 4.9, and there's a question of, is he like a little bit bigger version of a Blake Corn type, or is he a Zach Charbonnet? Where is he going to fall? There's some question to that.
Yeah, and again, it's like he's in a conversation of, can he get over here? Can Emmett Johnson get over here with these 4 guys, with Love, Washington, Price, and Claiborne? Can Coleman or Johnson or Allen or McGowan get into a spot that will allow them to come over here? There's no way to sleep on Coleman when he didn't separate himself at the combine, my boy. Like, a lot of it does depend. We do the pre-combine analysis based on talent and eyeball test, and Coleman ranked number 2 to 3 for me. So how am I sleeping on Coleman? He didn't separate himself. So we're beholden to the teams, and the majority feel and vibe check that this guy is going to go super early is not there. But if, let's say, a team waits and waits and waits, and in the 4th round, 3rd round, wherever he ends up falling, then he goes to Minnesota that way, then he goes to the mother freaking moon. He could be number 2. There's no sleeping on him. I'm giving you the context. Whoever said that, Matt, was Matt? I'm giving you the context. Sleeping on Coleman, I see. I'm giving you the context, Matt, of not to sleep on him. I'm telling you, don't sleep on him. How's that? Don't sleep on him, Matt. Go get a coffee.
Yeah, and
all right.
And we're talking post combine, and so Love, Washington, Price, and Claiborne. Those are the 4 guys who did separate themselves. So they're going to get a little bump up. Emmett Johnson didn't. And I'll talk about, and I'm sure you will too, about Malachi Fields when we do the wide receivers. Yeah. In a way, I'm glad that Malachi Fields and Emmett Johnson didn't blow away the combine, because I think it's great for their value. Because Emmett Johnson was never going to blow away the 40. That's not his thing.
And it's such a crapshoot situation where it's like this, okay? Here's round 1 of the NFL draft. Here's round 2 of the NFL draft. Here's round 3 of the NFL draft. Here's round 4. And it's like, if Emmett Johnson were to have done really well, maybe he gets snagged right here in round 2 to a team that's not good and moving the football down the field, and they're not blocking well. Think of Woody. Think of Woody and how our boy Woody struggled because he had the worst offensive line of football. Now, if Emmett Johnson, slips in the draft and goes in round 4, but he lands to the Minnesota Vikings, who punted taking a running back and started stacking other positions, and then they get Emmett Johnson right here, then Emmett Johnson goes to the moon and luckily fell in the best landing spot in round 4 outside of Jeremiah Love. So this is one of those players, Emmett Johnson or Jonah Coleman, or McGowan, that when we come out of day 1, and if you guys remember, I'll be live during the entire day 1, maybe even day 2. Day 1 of the NFL draft, I'll be live the entire draft, before and after. And if you remember, day 1 is all round 1. We exit day 1 and we have people already going, oh, running back here, this guy. And the running backs go, aside from Jeremiah Love, in this territory. So when we start doing our early, he's the 1.1, he's the 1.2 in my rookie draft, and we're not even mentioning Jonah Coleman, we're not even mentioning Emmett Johnson because they haven't been selected yet. And then Emmett Johnson goes in the 4th round to the second best landing spot in fantasy. All of a sudden, he jumps to the 1.2 off of that move, or Jonah Coleman goes to Minnesota. So Travis, you're right. If for any reason the fall allows the right team to wait on them, then they could fall to the best spot, or they could still fall to a spot where the team goes, we don't need him, but he's the best guy on the board, take him. And you're like, son of a b. That's how Jonah Coleman falls on the Chargers roster. Is you're in round 4 and it's like, he's the best guy there, let's take him. And then you're scratching your head. But you also get that Minnesota Vikings could wait and grab him type of thing, or Washington could grab him in the 4th round. Anything else? We're going to go over to the Dynasty channel after this because we need to do a Dynasty video. Probably on the same rookies in a way, or maybe try and compare who these guys could be from a rookie standpoint or something different for the channel rather than just beat a dead horse on this.
Just a couple quick things to cover. One, obviously we kind of thought this might happen, but the news that Aaron Jones is likely getting cut. I think that bump, we already kind of had him even, but I think that bumps the Vikings right up to the, top of the list, above Washington anyway. That's the best place for a running back because, I know people really like Jordan Mason, but he's almost non-existent in the pass game. He doesn't catch passes. He's one of these guys who's not great at it either. So, there's an opening for, if one of these rookies goes to Minnesota, they can take that job right away. And so it immediately, whereas if Aaron Jones was hanging around there, he's good in the pass game, so he could kind of stunt the growth or hold it off for half a season until he gets hurt. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And the one other thing, there's a rumor going around about Monty. Underdog reported he wants out. Detroit would want a decent day 3 pick, possibly 5th rounder in return. And supposedly the rumor's false. David Montgomery himself has openly disputed it. So I don't know exactly because I'm trying to dig into it and find exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little convoluted right now, but we'll definitely be breaking that down tomorrow with a little bit more, I think, insight around it. So that's why we haven't gone live on that. Plus, I've been doing a lot of the rookie stuff.
And I'm guessing tomorrow we'll do the stupid quarterback stuff with the Cardinals and Jimmy G and that frustrating mess.
Yeah.
Gino
a lot to come tomorrow. Yeah. But yeah, Monty, Monty does, the fact that Monty is liking tweets that say you should get out of Detroit, they're not using you right. There's some smoke there.
Yeah.
But, we don't know.
I think he'd welcome a trade to a place where he could be the guy. It's just, is the team going to really take him on to be the guy and not draft one of these rookies that could easily pass him? Monty's still good and, could be a back, put up a Tony Pollard season or, 1,100 yards or whatever. But, how many teams are going to want to do that? I've seen the Seahawks floated, but if I were the Seahawks, I'd just draft the Pricer of Washington over bringing him in if that's what they want to do.
Yeah. FDX says this community is awesome, surrounded by legends. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. Keep Bucky and Rice, says FDX. Agreed. If you add DJ Moore, this is a better deal. Thank you, FDX, for dropping that. Mike, appreciate you. Aldi, appreciate you. Rumble to the moon. We're at 5.12K on Rumble, 5.1K. Freaking awesome. Rumble's growing so fast. And I hope this guy's correct. And I kind of want to start the Rumble show now, but I'm sticking to what I said. But if this guy says he's going to drop this early $500 crypto Rumble wallet tip, then we're starting and he'll be revered by everybody to get a new show.
Floating the teas out there.
He is floating the teas out there. Anybody else wants to take it from him, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
Right.
Yeah, and if you got a business or whatever, as long as it's not competing business on any level, if you got a business, we could just dedicate it instead of you. So the whole first month of the Rumble show, because it started early, will be dedicated to the person that drops that $500 Rumble wallet tip.
He showed his card early. Someone can stomp all over that.
Yeah, but hopefully he doesn't. But
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we'll be. I'll still be a man of my word to promote him as well if he did do it, at the same time or after. But I mean, guys, you're gonna be a celebrated man. And I also have a little bit of. I'll say this now. A little bit of a fun little thing on the site is that the highest super chatter of the year, which could change because somebody can one up somebody, right? I don't know who it would be right now. I'll have to look. But the highest super chatter of the year will be in the fantasyfootballshow.com trade calculator. So you'll basically, your name will be in the trade calculator. You won't be in you just search for your name and you'll pop up and you can literally execute or try and execute trades with you in the trade and it will score you. It'll tell you, some amazing things about yourself because it does have logic to the trade calculator responses. But
see how much you're worth, how many players you're worth.
You want to feel good for a good week or two or a month or whatever. But the highest super chat of the year will always be in the trade calculator on the fantasyfootballshow.com. So it's really fun because if you go in there now, I'll show you. You can trade Travis and Smitty. We're in the trade calculator. And I'm only going to have one other person in it rolling constantly. But let me show you real quickly what this looks like. But Travis, we'll trade Travis away. So we'll trade Travis for Gibbs and we'll try and trade Travis away for Gibbs, JSN, Bijan, and Puka Nacua. Let's see if this trade will get accepted. So here's what the trade looks like. I don't know. We'll see if this looks like I'll get it done, right? You guys tell me if you think this will get it done.
I'd trade me for that.
Yeah, here's the proposed trade. Travis Rowe. And so I'm in there, Travis is in there, and the highest super chatter of the year will be in the trade calculator. Travis Rowe for Jahmyr Gibbs, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Bijan Robinson, and Puka Nacua. Let's press the button, and here is the response to that trade. And you will be surprised by what the trade calculator, and this will tell the same thing of anybody that's the highest super chatter of the year. Here's the response to this request. It says, Travis, you give $1,000 in trade value, and you're only getting $283. Do not do this trade. This trade will destroy you. Do not give up Travis Rowe under any circumstances. Travis Rowe is irreplaceable, and no amount of fantasy value can compensate for that loss. So the highest super chat of the year will be in the trade calculator, and then it'll just be rolling. We'll change it out, but so just so you guys know, that's gonna be fun. Travis. All four of those guys. All right. We'll go over to the Dynasty channel. Any closing thoughts real quick?
No, I think we're good. I think it'll be good.
All right.
Good to do a Dynasty show.
All right. See you over there in about 5 to 7 minutes.
See you over there.
All right, guys. So to wrap up on this situation here, Jeremiah Love, number one rookie running back, P-Wash. I keep saying P-Wash and M-Wash, both moon men.
The moon men.
Wash and wash.
Dropping loads in outer space.
Double wash. P-Wash, M-Wash. Wash and Associates or a cleaning service, whatever it is. But Mike Washington, the clear cut number 2. I don't want to say tier break yet, but a potential tier break. It just depends on where Price goes. Price is the number 3 running back. Claiborne's my sneaky 4, even though the size is a concern at 188. But man, this kid's quick. He's elusive. He's the 3rd fastest running back at the combine. The combine times are right here, and you have Jeremiah Love and M. Wash and Price all neck and neck at 4.33 for Washington, 4.36 for Love, and Claiborne at 4.37. Then everybody else is in the 4.4s. So all 3 are really, really solid. Emmett Johnson, and Coleman didn't necessarily impress or rise their stock at the combine, but their workouts potentially could. Katron Allen and McGowan. This kind of rounds out your 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 top 8 running backs coming out of the combine, post-combine rankings with analysis. All of this is on the fantasyfootballshow.com. If you want to do trade calculations, look at their player profiles, written write-ups are coming. Appreciate you all. Silver, I appreciate you. Silver, I think Silver asked, hey, Smitty, what about Josh Allen? The Josh Allen comment. So Silver asked me, do I still draft Josh Allen in best ball at like the normal territory? I would tell you that I'm diversifying my portfolio. I love where Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott and Herbert specifically too, where those guys are landing. So I want a combination of all that. But I would say that if I've got 5 drafts, let's say you said, Smitty, you can only draft in 5 underdog drafts this year, I would take Josh Allen in at least 1, so that's 20%. Or if I did 10 drafts, let's use a bigger number, I would take him in 1. I'd take him in 2 drafts, 20%. So it's exactly the same. 2 out of 10 drafts, I would take Josh Allen in the 3rd round as high as 3.1. The later you get him, the better. But he is such a monster scorer. And the apples to apples comparison, when someone says, oh, you can just wait on a quarterback, look at, Joe Burrow later, or Dak Prescott, or Caleb Williams. But you could also say, well, look at the receivers later. Josh Allen and a receiver that's falling into the territory where Caleb's going is apples to apples comparison. If you're going Josh Allen and that player versus, a wide receiver, running back, and then Caleb Williams or Dak or Herbert later. It's apples to apples. So you can win both ways. You can win 100,000 different ways. And it just so happens Josh Allen can carry you week in and week out. And when you get into the playoffs, and it really is about what happens when you get into the playoffs in best ball, especially Best Ball Mania, you want somebody that's going to win you a week because you're just trying to advance against your own field. So it's not like in Best Ball Mania or Underdog anywhere in Underdog contest. You're actually fighting against 200,000 people. You're fighting against 12 people. And Josh Allen can win you games. So you make it through weeks 1 through 14. The top in the big board, the top 3 advance. All you got to do is beat out the other players. You just have to be in the top 3 of your grouping of 12 that you drafted with. You stay with that group all the way through the weeks 1 through 14. The top 3 advance in the big board. And then when you get to that next round, you're put in a group, I believe, of 10. And all you got to do is finish, I think it's 2 or 1. And Josh Allen can do that for you. So Josh Allen's really valuable in best ball. Regardless of how many quarterbacks can fall late, Josh Allen can carry you. So hopefully that helps you, answers that question, Silver. Appreciate you all. What'd you say? You know what I mean. I feel like I have Allen. Should only draft 1 backup QB instead of 2. In big board, there's 20 rounds, so I'm definitely drafting 3. If it was 18 teamer and I got a really solid backup and the bye weeks didn't conflict yet, because we don't have bye weeks yet, I would say I could go with 2, but definitely am okay with 3 and a 10-man. So an 18-man I could go to if the circumstances are really, really good with the setup of the bye weeks and the 2 players. So like Herbert and Josh Allen, I'd love that. Or Dak Prescott. But if you end up getting Mac Jones as your second quarterback, which could be really good, it could be nothing. Like you got to have a 3rd quarterback. It just depends. Guys, I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. See you on the Dynasty channel. Link is in the description of the video. Appreciate my Rumblers. Link is in the description of the video, both on Rumble and on YouTube for the Dynasty channel. We're going to the Dynasty channel after this. Appreciate you all. Thank you for the super chat, worldwide. Appreciate you. New merch is available at thefantasyfootballshow.com/merch. Link is in the description. And don't forget thefantasyfootballshow.com, completely revamped with the best tools you will ever see, in my opinion. See you on Dynasty.